Hi, I'm sitting here with Varsity Baseball player Brock Sutton. Thanks for joining me here today, Brock. So, Brock, how long have you been playing baseball?
I've been playing baseball since I've been about 7 years old. I grew up in Sudbury, Ontario, so I played my minor baseball there. I continued minor baseball right up until I joined a competitive men's league, and then once I enrolled here at Fleming College, I was able to walk on to the Fleming College baseball team as the first baseman.
Well, Brock, you've been playing baseball for a while. So now I'll get into the real questions. What role do you think sports play in society today, and how do you think sports helps to define a society?
I think sports play a huge role in today's society, whether that be when you're a child growing up together, playing with your friends on the same sports team, you get to build relationships and build friendships, or whether that be, just the value of inclusiveness, whether, going to support your local professional teams or your semi-professional teams. It gives the city and the community a sense of inclusiveness to rally around a sports team. It's a great way for the community to come together.
Well, Brock, I think you made some excellent points there. My next question for you is a bit more personal. How has sports affected who you are today?
I think sports have had a huge impact on my life. Ever since I've been small, I've been playing sports, not only baseball, but hockey, basketball, golf, and volleyball. You're growing up as a kid and you play on these sports teams and you get to build some of the best friendships you'll ever have growing up. I know personally myself, some of the best friendships I still have today started from sports and playing sports together. Not only that, sports are a great way to stay active. I like to consider myself athletic, and I try to keep in shape. So sports are a fun way to get your exercise and stay healthy.
Wow, so it sounds like sports has had a huge effect on who you are today. My next question for you is, what influence does the media, including social media, have on sports and society?
I think the media has a huge impact on sports and society, to everybody, including the athlete. Growing up as a little kid, it's always fun and you always wanted to get that interview for the local newspaper. But I think as you go older and into, higher levels and even closer to professional levels, the media just brings in outside distractions and outside pressures. Social media, for sure, your Facebooks, your Twitters, you get to see your name out there more often than you normally would, and you get to see what people are thinking about you and how your performance is. So that can put a lot of unneeded pressure on an individual.
So it sounds like you believe that media has a huge impact on sports and society. My next question for you is, what role do major sports corporations such as the MLSE play in sports and society today?
Well, Major sports corporations such as MLSE, which is your Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, they play huge factors in sports and society. I think this is more geared towards the professional side of sports. And you made the mention of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, so I'll stick with hockey for this. But those big corporations, they kind of take away from the sport itself. For them, it's a business. So these big corporations really let you see the business side of sports. Whether, it be through trades and having families move city to city, or being the money-making aspect, right? Signing contracts and making money from your fans. So I think these large corporations really let you see the business side of things and not just the sport itself.
Continuing with the business side of sports, do you believe that sport athletes, such as hockey players, deserve to have their own union, and why?
For sure, I believe they deserve to have their own union. Once you make it professionally and you're making the kind of money that these players are making, you need to have somebody or some group of individuals to represent you, whether this be through contract negotiations, arbitration, filing grievances, appeals. Again, from these big corporations, at times they look at hockey players or any professional sports athletes in general And they don't see them for an athlete. They see them as a business prop and a way for their company to make money. So in turn, the best thing for an athlete to do is have an organization or a group of people to, support them and, represent them in the business side of sports.
Well, Brock, you made some excellent points there. My next question for you is, how has the commercialization of sport affected society today?
That's a good question. I think the commercialization of sports has affected society today by, growing up playing hockey. You enjoy playing hockey or baseball in my case. You enjoy playing for your local city or your local community or township. But now with sports being commercialized, you're more so playing for. You're not so much playing for your hometown as you are maybe a team that's sponsored by McDonald's or Walmart. Maybe the commercialization of sport just takes away that loyalty or the inclusion part of sports with your community.
Well, I definitely agree with the point you made about commercialization changing who you play for. Do you believe that pseudo sports such as kickball or dodgeball deserve more media coverage?
I'm going to say no to that. And maybe I'm biased because I'm a baseball player. But to me, I think kickball and dodgeball are games rather than sports. Can I put it that way? Not taking anything away from dodgeball or kickball. I love playing them and I love growing up playing them. I just think they're more of an activity or a game rather than a sport. So I would say no, that they don't need more media coverage. And I'm not sure how much, ratings they would get if there were more in the media more. I think media likes to stick to their major four, baseball, football, basketball, and hockey. I don't know if dodgeball or kickball warrant more media just because of the interest levels that they may, convey.
Okay, great. So my next question is a bit of a tough one here and a bit of controversy over this. But do you believe that athletes get away with more than they should due to their level of talent and ability and also their popularity?
That is a tough question. A good example of this is the Ray Lewis case. He was a linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens in the National Football League. He was caught and convicted of murder, stabbing somebody to death. Again, he was the heart and soul of Baltimore and that Baltimore football franchise. So he got to drop the charges of murder and aggravated assault in exchange to testify against the two other accomplices. You have to remember that professional athletes do have a lot of money. This allows them to get the best lawyers, the best attorneys that they possibly could get. So whether or not they get away with more than they should, I don't know. Because they are professional athletes, they do have a lot of money, so maybe they have more opportunity to get away with something. Not that they get away with more, but they have more opportunities to get away with more.
You're definitely right. There is definitely a lot of controversy with that last question. The next question I have for you is, should everyone be given an equal opportunity to participate in sports, no matter their race, class, ability, or gender, and why?
Oh, for sure. I think everyone should have equal opportunity to play sports. Sports, it builds character, it builds friendships. It shouldn't matter whether you're male, female, any race, any way you identify yourself. Everybody should be getting equal opportunity to play. Again, growing up playing sports is some of the best times of your life, and everybody should have opportunity to experience that.
Well, Brock, I must say I completely agree with you there. My last question for you is, do you believe that student athletes deserve to get a full scholarship with such a low GPA?
I think yes. Growing up, there's two goals that you have growing up. You want to play professional sports, or you want to get a full scholarship to an academic school. Now, you do see a lot of athletes who are getting scholarships, who may not have the highest GPA. However, they are fantastic athletes. Again, the college system is much like a business, so they're trying to get their best athletes they can to go to their schools. But growing up, you're striving to get this scholarship. So I think personally, if an athlete is good enough to deserve a scholarship based on his performance in sport, I think he should go all in and accept that scholarship.
Well, Brock, you made some excellent points today. I would like to thank you for sitting down with me, and good luck with any of your future endeavors.
Anytime. I appreciate it.